Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this session of Meet the Guest. And we would like to start off this session with the festival director, Monita Borgohai. She would be paying her respects to our very special guest, Ms. Shiba Chadda. हम दिल दे चुके सनम दिल से तलाश गली बॉय बधाई हो पगलायत ताज महल bandish bandits. All these iconic film and television productions have one factor in common, and it is our guest here today. From Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh to the glittering world of theatre and cinema, our guest has traversed fascinating distances in pursuit of her passion, her love for acting. She is a powerhouse of talent and leaves an indelible mark in every project that she's a part of, be it stage, television, or cinema. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Miss Shiba Chadda, who is a guest, to the first Guwahati Asian Film Festival 2025. Such an honor to have you here with us. Is it your first time in the Northeast, or were you here for the shooting of Dil Se?
No, Dil Se I shot in Dalhousie, but pehle, hello everyone, namaste, hello. No, I came to perform a play in Guwahati quite a while back. We performed a theatre piece called The Blue Mug. That was a while back. I don't know if anybody from here saw it. But
Was it at the Guwahati Theatre Festival, or it was an independent?
I think it was independent, not
Okay.
part of the festival, no. But
Okay.
yeah, that I've performed here once.
So second time.
Second time.
So I hope Assam has been kind to you, though you just arrived this afternoon. But I hope the weather is good for you, and we are being hospitable enough, and
All of that.
and
Thank
we look
you.
forward to seeing you again in this part of the country.
No, I'd love to come back. Yes.
So I want to start off by taking a little peek on your childhood. What was little Shiba like? What was her dreams and aspirations? Just like, what was life like for you? Briefly, if you could tell us.
Quite the dreamer, I would say. Not into backbencher at school. I used to always come back home and be actually, it sounds so apt, you know. I used to be wearing my mother's sari or my father's coat, and then I had a blackboard, and I would immediately after school come back home and then want to be the teacher, and then I used to hold classes. And so yeah, performance or whatever, that was, I think, very early on. Like I think it is for most actors probably quite early on a part of just normal life, and that's what used to bring me joy. And yeah, that was quite clear from very early on. Yeah, not that one's going to become an actor, but that's the area that brings me joy was clear from very young.
Yeah. So I don't know how it was like for you, but in Assam, when we were little kids and guests used to come home, so our parents used to say, oh, come and, sing this song and things like that. And we used to stand there very awkwardly trying to perform a dance or a song. So did that happen to you then? Was it like that?
That not so much, I think, but I do remember my sister and I going to all the weddings that used to happen in families, and then we used to we were always called to sing and to dance. So this
Okay.
used to be there, that, call those two sisters. They and
They are the star performers in the family.
they'll do. Ga denge. Yeah.
How wonderful. We all know that Shiba is a wonderful theatre actor. She's a part of the company theatre. Are you an active member of that?
Not active anymore, but
Okay.
yeah, I've been associated with the company
With the
theatre for a
company
very long
theatre.
time, yeah.
And she's been part of brilliant play productions like Othello in Black and White, Blue Mug, Hedda Gabler. I want to ask you, what aspect of theatre gives you a kick? Like, what does excite you in theatre?
I think that thing that you perform can never get repeated again. It will
Yes.
just happen just right there and then. I
Absolutely.
mean, you could have rehearsed for 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, but finally, whatever is going to get performed is just in that moment. You know, like in cinema, it's different, right? If we do something and it's not all right, either by you or by the director, or for various other technical reasons, we get to do a retake or several retakes.
Yes.
But in theatre, it's just the immediacy of that moment, which is quite another thing. Yeah.
Uh, you made a transition from theatre to cinema and almost seemed quite seamless. But usually that is not the case, and usually because there is this dichotomy of theatre and film. And would you consider yourself like a theatre snob in the initial years?
So I think a lot of people who consider themselves serious theatre practitioners certainly have this snobbery, which you've quite aptly called out, that they consider anything apart from theatre quite beneath them, or they don't feel
Right.
quite at home or comfortable on a film set. It's like they are these people and they are not authentic, or they are
Yeah.
not whatever artistic enough. But no, that's not me. I don't have that. I also quite strongly believe that they both are very different things. In fact, there is just recently I've done a podcast on Adyam. It is exactly on this, about the difference, because a lot of actors talk about this, no, the difference between cinema and theatre. A lot of actors have sort of traversed both worlds, and there's a lot of dialogue on about it. But some people think there's not much difference. It's the same thing. The actor being the common, denominator. But I think it's a very different. They're just different mediums, and they call upon different things out of an actor. It's different. What I bring, I think, as an actor, when I'm in front of the camera, is not the same thing I would bring to a theatre rehearsal. It's different. Of course, there will be commonality of something, but I think it's the call or the ask is very different in both the mediums. It's different. Yeah.
Right, right. You've portrayed a plethora of characters, and I think all the characters have different personality traits. I heard in an interview of yours that Mumtaz is one of your sort of favorite characters. So, what is it in Mumtaz that sort of struck out for you and touched that nerve?
I don't know. Many people won't even have known. This is just a character from a series called Taj Mahal, which was
Taj
on
Mahal,
Netflix,
yeah.
which is really one of my favorite work even now.
Mhm.
Uh, for her brutality and her innocence at the same time, and her, I think she's very large, so, and very like a child at the same time, and very large in her understanding of life. Yeah.
Do you enjoy sort of understated performances? Is it a challenge for you, or is it something that you take it as your own?
I do understand the question. I'm not sure. Understated is
In the sense, not overly dramatic and throwing it out there.
I think each role essentially has a different ask, depending on the project, which I think I'm coming to realize now. Uh, so something might, and I tend not to look upon it as am I overdoing or underdoing, because yeah, for me. I could get confused with that if I were to bring that to the table. But what will it take for me to make this come alive as truthfully as possible? And sometimes it's a very instinctive answer, not sometimes, all times for me, a very instinctive answer to that requirement. I may be, the performance may be quite different in maybe a film, like I've just done a film called Baby John.
Yes.
Which so I would think it would be quite different what I'm doing for myself over there, as opposed to maybe if I did a film like Paglet. It's just I think different projects ask different things out of you as an actor. I'm talking pure cinema right now, and then I think you instinctively respond to it. Yeah, is the best I can say.
Yeah. Perfect, perfect. We got it. You believe in the honesty, I think, of each character.
Without that, I don't think
You
anything
cannot
is
be, yeah,
possible.
performing, exactly. I think every actor, every artist has that dream role that they aspire to do. And I believe Mirabai is one of yours.
Now I've said it enough number of times.
I'm just curious because Mirabai's that voltage with which she expresses love, and that sheer abandon where she oscillates between union and despair, is that what attracts you? Or I mean,
No, her
not
desire for union is what attracts me.
right. So you are a romantic at heart.
I think her union is of another level, of another
Absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
So
Layered.
romance would be maybe child's play for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's somewhere else in another realm. So for me, the union is in the other realm, not here.
Right. Um, you have worked with different directors, and as a filmmaker, I'm curious to know, has gender ever sort of played a role in the dynamics between you and the filmmaker in terms of does it matter if the director is a man, a woman, or a third gender? Does it play into your relationship or your rapport with how you interact with the director?
Maybe I'd like to say no, but it does. I think to some level, the kind of ease, or just an unsaid
Comfort?
complicity or knowing which you can have with another woman when you are in a creative process, I think would be different than one would have with a man. It may be equally intense and strong with a man, but it's a different, of course, the flavor is different with a woman. And if you are, I think, working on any whoa, hello. And if you're working with any a subject, I think which requires more of that, more of the feminine,
Right.
then if it's a woman director helming it, I think of course that would help, and it does help. Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah. Makes us feel good. um, I am. I really want to know actually that in your journey, did you have like a specific set of goals set out for you? Like you had a roadmap, I have to achieve this, this, and this, or has it been purely sort of an organic journey for you?
I think you've seen my interviews. Have you? Because it's something I always say in all of them that really no,
Okay.
and not at all. I've been very, very dangerously free flowing in the way one went about it and still does in a way. I mean, I just instinctive. My manager's sitting here. It's just instinct, or it'll be for various reasons why one will pick a thing. And that's how it always has been. It's never, like I've said earlier also, I think I used to position myself as a theatre person for the longest time.
Right.
And then films and all, television used to be the way I used to feel that this is how I run my house. That's where the money comes from, but the real
Right.
work happens there on one level. But very, very seamlessly, I think that's sort of changed.
Right.
In that I don't even consider myself a practicing theatre person anymore, because it's a practicing art and I've not been practicing it. And I think I certainly am more of a cinema / OTT actor now. But nothing, no roadmap really.
No.
It's really like how things came. So because I never thought कि कहीं पहुंचना है,
Okay.
never thought like that. So there was no thing that I have to become that or go there. It was really picking up work as it came, and that's how it continues even till now.
Wow.
Of course, there are certain directors I would love to work with, no doubt about that.
Yes.
But apart from that, no, not really.
The stars have been kind to you.
Yeah,
then.
they have. They really have.
Yes.
They really have.
Um, you are, I think, a proud parent of a beautiful daughter, and I have to say from personal experience that parenting is a struggle, but it's so fulfilling. So my question to you is, how is it, having a human who means everything to you? How has that added to your journey?
My God, I think it's the most overwhelming thing. Yeah, there's no. I'm not able to find easily middle ground on it. I still feel very overwhelmed to be a parent. It's everything. It takes everything out of you. You
Yes.
will know, of course, and parents here will know. It will take everything out of you, and of course, what it brings to your life, nothing else brings to your life, and what it asks of you also nothing else asks of you. So it's a very overwhelming experience, I think, to be a parent for me.
Absolutely. All right, then I'll sort of just skip to the last question because we are running out of time. So this is I'm speaking on behalf of all the, the talented young actors from our region, and they have a lot of passion in their hearts, and they have the potential, and they want to leave a mark in the world of cinema, and with dreams, they set out to the big bad city Mumbai. They are clueless, to be very honest. So could you give some real advice to them, like should they have a game plan, should they be prepared? What would you say to these young artists from the Northeast?
So one, I get asked this question also a lot. I think most actors do. Um, one, I feel I'm not equipped to really answer because when we started work, which was about 25, 26 years back now, things were very different, and we approached getting work in a very different way. Now I think the entire ecosystem is different. Um, uh, the thing I really feel very strongly is that it's not for the faint-hearted. I again say, because it's just, we all know as actors, there's no consistency. There's no science. It can be amazing at one point and not be amazing at another, which of course is true for life. We all, even normal life is like that, right? If it's a profession, and then it takes a lot out of you to hold yourself strong and steady when the going is really bad, because you will really not know when it's going to get better. You can do this, you can do that, but there's no way. I think I don't understand how an actor really can go about getting work unless you create work. You can do everything, but it may not happen at all like how you expect it to happen, and you need to be prepared for that, prepared for the absolute not knowing,
The unknown.
the unknown. It's really, and it's true. It's the most realistic thing, I think, to know that today you might be on a very good gig, but for 6 months then there might be nothing. And then are you
Yes.
okay with that? Can you see yourself through that time? And then also not, doubt becomes like such a thing, because we take it so personal. And many a times it's not. I think people get cast for like weird reasons also, and really reasons which we don't even sometimes know why people get cast or not cast. There's a multitude of reasons, and then as actors, I think we tend to take it so personally, which is sad. But yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. I'm going to say it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They have to have a thick skin and
Yeah.
prepare for the worst.
Yeah, which like we do in life also, na? It's like the same. It's a direct parallel in a way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not like you will do A and uska result will be B. That's not, I think, how this line works. That's why I always say there is no science. It's not like you can do 1, 2, 3, and uska consequence will be, direct. It
Exactly.
will not
No.
be. It can be, or it can just never be, or it can not be the way you want it to be, or it might just be totally out beyond your expectations. It can be any of these. So I think that's how really our work is. Unless you start creating your own work or generating your own work, and then also it's like you can create some stuff. Then after that, what? It's So yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Thank you. It was just getting interesting, and we wish we could go on for a little longer, but I guess we are running out of time, and there are a lot of people who would want to ask you a few questions. So I think I would, yes.
Hi, ma'am. This is a really planned moment for me now to be here and witnessing you over here. Welcome to Guwahati. Welcome
Thank
to
you,
Assam.
thank you.
Thank you so much for visiting us. So, my name is Priyanka. I have just started my journey in the career of acting, and I just would want to know. I think it's a. I don't know. It's a very silly. It might be a silly question, or I don't know how it would be. Like as an actor, I just want to know, like as a person, we do have our own morals and ethics when it comes to our life. And when we play a certain role that might not match our morals and ethics, so how can, what is the line where we need to draw that, and or how can we choose that, okay, as an actor, we can play this character or we shouldn't play this character? Is there any line that we need to draw between our moral and ethics and the character that we are playing?
Thank you. That's a
Thank you.
good question.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think for me, I try not to judge the character that I'm going to play. There are many times where we will, please sit, no. There are times where we will absolutely not agree with what that character is doing or the journey of that character, and sometimes it can be excessively in opposition to your personal code or your just what's comfortable for you. I have played those characters, and then you have to. For me, it works that I don't judge the character. I try not to judge the character, and then anybody who we consider evil or dishonest or just not whatever, also is doing right by them, by in their head they're doing the right thing, or they've explained it to themselves, or this is their belief is in that. So I try to latch on to that belief or that feeling of how true that person must be feeling doing all those things that I'm considering absolutely despicable. But I try to, for me that works. But yeah, trying not to judge is a big one. Having said that, there might be some characters where I might have a problem playing that, and those are very, very hard calls to take, which is particularly in the area of women. If written in really in a way where there's no retribution of a particularly patriarchal or if there's no retribution to a character, that it would be difficult for me to play that now, only because this needs to be commented on, this needs to be validated, what women speak of, what we are, especially now, today. So I hope I'm not put in that situation, because that will become very difficult. It's a very difficult call then. Yeah, did I answer your question? Yeah.
Thank you for your question. We have time only for one more question, so I think the organizers would pass the mic.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello. This is Arpana Chaudhary. I'm into also acting. Okay. मैम मैं हिंदी में पूछ, तो आपने तो बहुत सारे कैरेक्टर्स अब तक प्ले किए हैं, बहुत बड़ी मुरीद हूँ मैं आपकी, कह सकती हूँ. मुझे एक बात जानना है, इतने सारे कैरेक्टर्स में से आपका फेवरेट कौन सा है और क्यों?
यार ये बहुत मुश्किल सवाल होता है, ये सबसे वाला जो होता है ना, सबसे फेवरेट, सबसे रियली मैं सच्ची में बोलूँ तो नहीं है कोई एक, बट लाइक मुमताज़ जिसकी ये बात कर रही हैं, तो वो आई लव दैट कैरेक्टर. मैंने बताया क्यों. हाल ही में एक फिल्म थी बधाई हो. I did both. I did बधाई दो and बधाई हो, but I was wondering which one. सॉरी माय थ्रोट। तो उसमें एक कैरेक्टर है, उनका नाम बेबी है, वो राजकुमार राव की माँ बनती हैं उसमें।
हाँ जी।
हाँ, तो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है वो कैरेक्टर ही मुझे बहुत पसंद है। तो कई बार आप बहुत ही क्या बहुत शुक्राना करते हैं ना कि अरे वाह, ये ऐसा ऐसा कुछ कैरेक्टर प्ले करने को मिला। तो एक मतलब क्या बोले, बहुत थैंक यू है, बिकॉज आई मतलब बेबी, आपने देखी है वो फिल्म?
हाँ जी,
देखिए, हाँ, तो हाँ, उनका जो वो हैं, वो कैरेक्टर या
समथिंग आप रिलेट कर सकते हो उसके साथ।
या बिल्कुल, वो एक रिलक्टेंट करके शब्द होता है, वो बोलते, हमारे डायरेक्टर ने कहा था कि ये नहीं है कि थोड़ी सी पागल सी लग सकती है, लेकिन ये एक्चुअली कोई भी काम करने में उनको ना हिचक है, नहीं करना कोई भी काम हो तो वैसे कोई और कर ले। इतना रिलक्टेंस ऑफ जस्ट एनीथिंग, रिलक्टेंस टू बी प्रेजेंट, रिलक्टेंस टू want to attend to normal things as we all attend to. She's just reluctant कि कोई और कर ले, you know. So I find that quality इतनी मज़ेदार, because मैं बहुत से लोगों को ऐसा जानती हूँ, I think खुद भी मैं थोड़ी सी वैसी हूँ, तो बहुत I love that character.
थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you so very much. And yeah, I would like to express my gratitude, Shiva, for being here with us and enlightening us with such amazing answers. I'm so sorry, we do not have time. We have to get on to the main function. And it was such a pleasure to host you and talk with you. And my deepest gratitude to the first Guwahati Asian Film Festival, the festival director, Monita Borgohai, for inviting me to have this session with Ms. Shiba Chadda. And I only hope that GAF goes a long way and it is able to create a generation of intelligent viewers of cinema, and that is what we need. We need appreciation of good cinema, and I hope that GAF will be able to contribute to that. Thank you everyone for being here, and see you at the movies.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.